Hello and welcome to the 30k channel, a channel dedicated to games set in the Horus Heresy. And as you can see, it is Christmas time. Merry Christmas, gentlemen.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. So we've made a bit of a special. We've got some signage and we've got a nice star above Matt's head there. And we've got a beautiful, smallest Christmas tree in the shop that I could possibly buy. So no expense spared. Yeah. Now, today's game, we are joined by Matt from Greetings from the Warp fame, and they're based out of the Midlands area, is that right?
Northampton, Kettering.
Yep. And you run some tournaments and some bits and bobs online?
Yeah, on average we do 6 to 7 tournaments a year.
Great stuff. So I recently went to a tournament there last weekend and had a great time. So that was organised by Matt and a couple of his colleagues there. So thanks very much for that. And we are joined by Dan. Dan is from Peterborough. He attends the club here, and we see him quite often with his Sons of Horus. So welcome to the channel.
Thank you. Came directly from my house.
So he's only down the road, which is great. And this reinforces the fact that Peterborough is such a great area for Heresy. There's loads of people in the area, some lovely armies, and hopefully you'll see 2 of them today. Now you can follow both these guys on Instagram. I shall put your accounts at the bottom of the screen so you guys can follow them. So please go to Instagram and check them out. I'm sure they'd love to hear some comments about their armies and some photos, which would be awesome.
Nice comments.
Yeah, nice.
Comments.
Be good. Be nice. Now, before we get started, we should also have a shout out to a couple of podcasts that have been supporting us over the last few weeks. I did a recent interview on Istvan Free Radio, the 2 guys there, which gave me an opportunity to talk about the channel. So thanks for guys for doing that. Again, the Eye of Horus Podcast, they're always talking about us and mentioning us, which is great news. And another one, Northern Heresy, which you got in touch with. Is that right, Matt?
Yeah. A great bunch of lads.
Yeah, they gave us a bit of coverage, which is fantastic. So thanks, guys, for your support. So now let's talk about this game. So this was organised how long ago?
Oh gosh, 6 Heresy Weekender.
Heresy Weekender. Yeah, so a while, and there's been a group chat. Is that right? That we've all been involved in.
It's carnage.
It's got a bit wild.
Absolute Facebook carnage. My notifications, my phone's just going berserk. To be honest, it's a never-ending saga of memes, mum jokes, shout-outs, call-outs, painting progress pictures, and him posting pictures of beer mostly. So
yeah. This is sponsored by Hogarden. Please drink responsibly.
Send us some beer.
Please send us some beer.
So yeah, it's been going on, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been good actually. It's been spurring us on because we both had quite a lot to paint, and as will be seen in the game, our sort of painting debuts, the stuff we're using brand new for this game is quite extensive. Probably about 50% of both our armies.
I've just counted now. I've got 11 combat debuts, so that's 11 things dying in the first turn without shooting anything, and that's going to make me cry.
I've only got 10 fingers. I can't count how many I've got, but enough. So suffice to say,
it's been some furious painting getting ready for this game.
Fast and furious painting.
So thanks for your support, guys, and getting everything ready for us.
Thanks for making me do it.
Now, also, whilst you've been painting, you've been modelling some men for us, haven't you?
Yep.
So you can see the 2 characters here. We will do a close-up of these for you guys to see, and we'll also show you a picture of the official pictures that they're modelled on.
Yep.
So Dan, can you talk to us about yours, please?
Right, yeah, mine is Tybalt Marr. He is one of the Sons of Horus. He was originally one of 2 twins, known as the Either and the Or. He is the Either. Unfortunately, the other one snuffed it, didn't do so well, but basically he is one of Horus's sort of attack dogs. He's known as the Lone Wolf, and he was sent to hunt down Shadrak Meduson because he decided to be naughty and try and assassinate Horus, which, it's just not on, is it? It's underhand, I think. Flying an aircraft straight into a building and taking a pot shot at 3 Primarchs. It's gall. It's gall, that's what
Unbelievable, it is. Jeff.
It is. It's disgraceful, and he is going to be held to account accordingly by Tybalt with his nasty little shank there. It's going to be first night in the prison bathroom.
Gonna shiver him in the shower,
exactly. So he's come to get involved. There is no official model yet, so kit bashed off Alexis Pollux, and basically I've got quite extensive bits box, and that's come from a lot of that, because there's different bits from everywhere. And ironically enough, he's actually got a loyalist head. It's actually how the Ultramarine set, but he looks evil, so I used it.
You've both done a great job modelling these, haven't you? It's awesome. And Matt, can you tell us a little bit about yours, please?
I've got to say, I'm very, very lucky, very fortunate to have mine made for me. Someone called Henry Steele, Hen Steele on Instagram. He's a brilliant, brilliant inspiration. He's so good. I say he generously and kindly sculpted it for me. Kit bashed it from, I think, 11 or 12 different bits, a bit of green stuff, and then I was just lucky to be able to paint it. So I've really enjoyed this, because I've never really looked at Shadrak before this game, so he's actually a bit of a beast, really. He's an average mid-level Praetor. He's not like a pimp or anything. He hasn't got anything nasty, but he'll do power armor all day long. It's just really interesting reading upon his rules and his fluff, because I didn't realise, obviously, he was upstairs, in his battle barges and all that, as everything was happening downstairs, and then he flared, and basically you guys just caned Iron Hands.
Tybalt gave him a bit of a slap, and then went the enmity.
They've been battered by everybody.
Yeah, well, they deserve it.
Not anymore.
Hubris, that's what happened. That's
Viva the Gorgon!
What part of him?
That's not nice.
Yeah, well, it happens, doesn't it?
It does. We put some good fluff behind this, and the two guys worked really hard to get this together. And we've got a 5k game, Sons of Horus versus Iron Hands. We've got two beautifully painted armies, and it'll be a real joy to watch. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go look at both army lists. Then we're going to come back to you, discuss some rules. We'll look at the battlefield, and then we'll have a final discussion, talk about the mission, deployment, and then we'll get going.
Fantastic.
Right, so this is my 5,000 points of Sons of Horus. They are led by Tybalt Marr, the Either. He's in a tactical squad, joined by my Lodge Master. Now he's chaplain in the rules, but Sons of Horus don't really go in for that. So the tactical squad is also joined by an Apothecary. He's got Artificer Armour, and he also has an Augury Scanner. So the unit also has additional close combat weapons. Sergeant is carrying a Power Fist, Artificer Armour, Melter Bombs, and they do have a Nuncio Vox. They are in Spartan with the usual kit, so that's a Flare Shield, Armoured Ceramite, and a Dozer Blade. Right, my second troops unit is a Legion Breacher Squad. Standard kit for them. They've got 2 Melter Guns. Obviously they're packing the Hardened Armour. I do have a Sergeant. He has Artificer Armour, Melter Bombs, a Thunder Hammer, and 1 Breaching Charge. They're riding in a Land Raider Phobos, Armoured Ceramite, and a Dozer Blade. Right, now to my elites and the Armoured Fist of my army. So I've got the Elite Juster and Terminator units, I've got 2 of those. Now the first unit is armed with 5 Combi Plasmas and a Chain Fist, the rest all have Power Axes. The other unit is 5 pairs of Lightning Claws. Now both are riding a Land Raider Phobos. They have Armoured Ceramite, Dozer Blade, and Frag Assault Launchers, because Terminators cannot carry frag grenades for those all important assaults. My third elite unit is a Legion Terminator Squad. These are equipped with Tartarus Terminator armour, because it's good to occasionally get some assaults in. So they have 4 combi weapons, because including the Sergeant. They all have combi plasmas. They're all armed with power swords, except one who's got a Chain Fist, and they also pack in a Plasma Blaster. Now they're in a Land Raider, similarly equipped to the others, which is Armoured Ceramite, Dozer Blade, and Frag Assault Launchers. Right, now on to heavy support. I have 3 different Sakaran pattern tanks. I've got 2 of the standard battle tank pattern. They're just armed with the standard accelerator autocannons and heavy bolter sponsons. They also do have Dozer Blades. And then the other is obviously the Venator, which is the tank destroyer pattern. That is armed with a Dozer Blade and las cannon sponsons. Right, now on to the big guns, Lords of War. So I have a Legion Stormblade. That also has Armoured Ceramite. It has Space Marine Legion crew to increase that ballistic skill to 4, and I have included the side sponsons, each one with a las cannon and twin heavy bolters. Right, and last by no means least, my favourite, the Legion Glaive. So that's my final Lord of War choice. This arm does normal. I've kept with the quad las cannons, but it does have Armoured Ceramite.
So this is my 5,000 points Iron Hands army based around Shadrak Meduson. So he's armed with an Architect pistol, he's got an Albion Power Gladius, Iron Halo, Artificer Armour. So he's pretty good. He's got Rending, so I'm quite happy to have him leading my army. So this is my combat guy really. So Shadrak is a great combat expert, but my Praetor, he's the actual pimp of the army himself. So he's a Legion Praetor, he's got Digital Laders, Iron Halo, Cyber Familiar, he's on a bike, he's got a Paragon Blade, a Power Fist and a Master Crafted Power Fist. He's got a command squad, a unit of Chosen supporting him with 2 power lightning claws and a power weapon on an apothecary on a bike and Bennett character. Just to note that I've got 2 shields. Now the shields are actually just a rule of cool. They've got no in-game benefit, no tactical advantage or disadvantage to my opponent. They're just because I quite like them. They're immortal shields I've cut off and put transfers on. So just a rule of cool for today. So please, they've got no in-game benefit. So this is the heart of the army. These are my tactical legionnaires. So I've got 10 tactical men with Sergeant with Artificer and a Melter Bomb. Another 10 with Sergeant, Melter Bomb and Artificer. And a unit of 5 with 5 Flamers with a Sergeant with Artificer and a Melter Bomb. All in Rhinos with standard combi bolters and extra armour. So this is my 4th tactical squad. So it's 5 men with Melter Guns, with a Sergeant with Artificer and a Melter Bomb. These are in Anvilus Pattern Dreadclaw Drop Pod, and I've got another Anvilus Pattern Dreadclaw Drop Pod that will be taking down a Contemptor with close combat weapons. So this is my elite section. So I've got 2 Contemptor Dreadnought Talons. The left side is a Quartus Pattern. So I've got one with Akira's Assault Cannon and close combat weapon with Graviton, and I've got one with Chain Fist, Graviton, and a close combat weapon and Graviton, and then I've got the front one with 2 Chain Fists and both have got Graviton. In the game turns, that is just to count as 1 fist and 1 Chain Fist. On the right hand side I've got another Contemptor. This is my prime rather than a Cortez, as denoted by the white stripes and the white helmets. So I've got a double Kira's Assault Cannon, I've got a Chain Fist and a close combat weapon, double Grav, and another Chain Fist with a claw this time with double Grav as well. This is my heavy support. So I've got a Leviathan Siege Dreadnought coming down with a claw, a Siege Drill, heavy Flamers, Phosphex Discharger and heavy armour. This is another heavy support slot. So continuing the Dreadnought theme, I've got a Duridio Dreadnought with a Plasma Hellfire Cannonade, ILOS missile system, heavy armour and twin-linked heavy bolter. And this is my other heavy support. So this is a Sticker Venator with heavy armour, and I've got the las cannon side sponsons on it as well. So this is the heart of my army really. It's the big fellas. So on the left I've got a Legion Stormblade. So I've got sponsons, so I've paid upgrade sponsons, and it's a Space Marine Legion crew as well. I've also got a Legion Fellblade, so I've got Melty Melter on there. Both have got arm and ceramite and tank crew.
Okay guys, you've seen the armies, you've seen the little showcase that we've set up there. You've seen the battlefield, so it's it's a large expansed area. We've got some buildings on there, some formations and a bit of a bunker and a crash thunderhawk for the guys to work around. Hopefully that'll work.
Should be black.
Fully iron hands.
Should be.
Resources, we're struggling. So now we're going to talk about some individual Legion rules and some special rules which will play a key point in this game. So Sons of Horus, do you want to start?
Yeah, just to sort of get a bit of a clarification for you guys, for those of you who aren't aware of what the particular rules for the Sons are. Obviously we have the Edge of the Spear, which basically means because of the highly specialist nature of Sons of Horus with Decapitation Strike Tactics, they are able to reroll 1s for reserve rolls. which is pretty cool if I want to. They also do have Bitter Pride, so I can't make use of anyone else's warlords if I ally, but that's not really a condition for this game. One of the best ones I've got is Merciless Fighters, which basically means if I outnumber any match troops at the end of a combat phase, basically when we get to initiative step 1, even if I've already attacked, I get one more attack, but only with weapons that don't strike at initiative 1, so I can't have another go with a power fist or add an extra attack. It's only if you've already taken say initiative 4 attack, then you get to go again with one attack each, bonus if outnumber. And then my favourite one, which is the new one, Death Dealer, basically to represent the pretty close, brutal nature of the Sons of Horus. Within 12 inches for pistol, assault or rapid fire weaponry, I get +1 to my attack rolls, so Ballistic Skill 4 troops will hit on 2s rather than 3s, which is pretty solid.
Cheese.
It's most deserved, to be honest. It's well worth having. Doesn't apply to Fury, Chain Fire, Snapshots, etc. It's just generic stuff, but it generally means that I get a little bit of an edge within that 12-inch window.
Yeah.
So I mean they're the really specific things. The only other thing worth noting is I do have a fair few Juster in. I can allocate and accept challenges as per characters with them as individuals, but they don't in other ways count as characters. So that's sort of the main things for my army.
That's awesome, thank you. And Matt, can you just go through the Iron Hands, please?
Absolutely. So we've got 3 standout sub-rules, if you like. So the first one, probably the biggest game-changing one for us, is the Inviolate Armour. So it reduces by 1 the strength of any shooting attack. So las cannons become 8s and so on and so on. Now this is only against obviously bikes, jet bikes, troops, infantry, independent characters. It doesn't have anything against dreads or anything like that, unfortunately. But it just means against bolt of fire, that weight of fire, actually you need 5s to wound us. So actually that goes quite a long way. And I think it's something around the durability of Iron Hands and that kind of machine wrought spirit, if you like. We've got this is a tricky one, really. It works for you but against you. And stand and fight is where we need to do a leadership test in order to run or make a sweep in advance. So that's interesting because then also it means we can't voluntarily go to ground as well. But I don't really tend to go to ground because A, I forget, or B, I'm too busy killing or being killed. So actually it makes no difference in a sense. And we've also got one which is a rigid tactics. It's like a benefit and a disadvantage. Because of the nature of us, we like tanks and heavy armour and walkers, we can't have more units with the jet bike or jump infantry than we have by troops. So for example, me and my army, I've got 3 bike units, independent character and a command squad on bikes, but I've got 4 units of troops. So fortunately that's 4-3, so I'm okay there. But it just makes sometimes when you want to put things characters on bikes, it's a little bit tricky because you need to think about where this is, especially if we were playing a normal Age of Darkness Force Org. You could have 3 HQ troops.
Absolutely. Cool. Okay, so that's great. And the reason why we're highlighting this is because in the light of the last game with the World Eaters and the Emperor's Children, there were some significant mistakes made on the World Eaters part. Now, I'm very conscious of this, and you guys gave us some great feedback and highlighted those, and it is my desire to get things right. So we're trying to be transparent as possible, and so hopefully that will go in a way to kind of sort that out. The other thing we need to mention as well is deployment. So we're obviously playing on an 8x6 big board, 5k aside. We're playing Vanguard Strike, so that gives us plenty of room to deploy, and we're also playing the
Blood Feud.
Thank you. My brain froze there. So yeah, the Blood Feud mission. And because both players are using an Onslaught list, there is no Warlord trait. So we're not going to roll for them, and we're not going to... Sorry, not Warlord trait.
Right of War.
Right of War, thank you. So there's no Rights of War. So we've had a lot of comments on the last game saying, oh, you haven't done this. Well, you need to read the rules as well as we do, okay? So please just consider that before you leave a comment for us. That would be great. Next up, what do we think about this?
It's going to be interesting. Blood Feud. So what we're doing, we're modifying the mission of Blood Feud. So what that means is normally you can pick before the game in secret what you're going to go after, so you can go tanks, walkers or whatever. But because Dan would give points away and bleed tanks points, I've got walkers. So actually we're going to keep it fluffy. We're going to go for modified Blood Feud of characters, independent characters. We've both got 2 of them. So therefore it's weighted evenly. It feels right to modify this ever so slightly in light of the whole Meduson versus Marr and so on. So that feels good. That feels a good decision.
Yeah. And it's Christmas as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
What more than a bit of fratricide at Christmas?
And we've got beer in the fridge as well, so everyone's happy.
Yeah, we haven't got beer in the fridge yet. We'll bring it out towards the end. We don't want to be slurring our words or knocking stuff over. But I think it would be a good game. We've got two quite different armies. We've got a wall of Armour 14 versus...
Dread Stomp, really.
Dreads and troops. So
they're just going to be musical statues. I think it's got 18 twin link las cannons. I've got 4.
It's a lot.
It's enough.
It's enough.
You've got how many chain fisted and graviton guns have you got? Let's not play that game.
I've got a few graviton. I've got some graviton.
And you got some deep striking stuff as well.
I've got some little tricksy units. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It's going to be good fun.
It's going to be a really fun game.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So we don't know who's going first yet, so we're going to do this live while we're here. So can we have a dice each, gentlemen?
Oh, yeah.
So this is deploy first, go first, and then we'll obviously do the C's once we're all set up on the table. So let's have a roll, gents. So 2. Come on, do you want first then?
Yeah, because that denies him basically 2 units of 2 rounds of shooting.
C's.
You know what I mean?
Go on.
C's.
Get on with it.
It's a 4. Obviously you can't see them very well, but I can see them. We've got 2 and 4. So eye hands will set up and deploy first, go first, unless Sons can seize. So we'll see you on the battlefield. Okay, gentlemen. So we've deployed. Is there anything you'd like to add before we get started?
I've got a glaive on my flank. What's that about?
Just to touch on the force org charts, we've obviously gone for Onslaught. Normally, what that would mean would be the player with the Onslaught list would automatically go second, unless they seize. But because we've both taken this list, that's why we rolled before, just to clarify why we did that when we were set before. So, my basic objective is 2 C's, not to try, to 2 C's.
No chance.
Right, lucky dog.
No chance.
So let's get on the old dice pads and see how we go.
Yes!
Is that 6?
That's a 6! Fudge.
Wowzers.
Fudge.
Okay, well, let's have a friendly handshake, gentlemen.
After you.
That is just ridiculous.
And we'll get on to Sons of Horus.
Let's hope it sets the tone.
Oh my days.
Right then, so Sons of Horus, first movement. So because fate seems to hate Matt, I did seize. So look at that face.
I can't believe it. Unbelievable, Jeff. You couldn't write fiction like it.
Well, let's hope he carries on that way for the old Sons of Horus, because Shadrak unfortunately did write a few checks his butt's not going to be able to cash.
I'm going to make you cry now.
Yeah, alright.
I'm going to make you cry so hard.
Maybe later. Okay, so I've obviously moved a few bits around. I've just sort of broken out of this area slightly to give myself a few avenues for travel. Moved up this to get a couple of shots on the old Storm Blade. And then just move the Venator around the back. It's only got a 36-inch range, so I'm going to have to capitalise my shots where I can make them. Right, so that's basically my first turn's movement. I can't do any of my reserves till turn 2 for all of my Land Raider equipped troops. So that's me for now. Right, so Sons of Horus, first turn shooting phase. It's my big tank, it's what I love, so naturally this has got to go first. It's got to be the first shot of the game. So glaive uses a beam shot. So what you do is it's a 1-inch wide strip, 48 inches straight forward from the barrel. First target has to be an enemy model, but after that it just carries on going until it's a super heavy or a fortified building like a bastion or bigger, as stated in the book. So what I've pre-measured. So the first hit is unfortunately his Praetor. Take him onto the chops as he deserves. So he can potentially look outside that, and then it basically scythes the back end off that Rhino.
Oh.
So first thing I'm going to do is roll against the Praetor. So it's strength 8 versus your toughness of 5. Obviously it goes down 1 because
7.
You roll, so it goes down 7. It's still 2s.
Still 2s.
Unfortunately, he's taken it right on the chin, and I rolled a 1. So.
Hey! The flesh is weak! Viva the Gorgon!
Right, okay, so I'm going to roll for my damage against the Rhino. So
11.
So I only got strength 8. It's basically failed to do anything against it, which is a bit poor.
However, you also get your haywire.
I do get haywire. So it's 2 to 5s is glances and a 6 is a pen. 2. So I've got a glancing hit.
A glance. So I'll get a cover save.
You will.
Because I'm obscured. Cool. So lucky 5 up. It's a glance.
Down a whole point. Next shot is going to be the quad las cannons, obviously going forward into the bike squad, so you'll be able to do those as you like. So 1 hit, reroll for twin linked. So I've got 2 hits, strength 8 now versus your 5, so still 2s. So 2 wounds. The strength 8, not double your toughness though, so you get your armor saves on that.
Okay, so what is it? I've got
it's
2 up.
AP2, so it goes straight through them.
So I'm going to take this on Praetor.
Really?
Yeah.
Go on then, lad.
3s. So I've got a Cyber Familiar with an Iron Halo.
Okay, go for it.
3 up covers. Sorry, 3 up invulnerable save. Oh. So that's a fail. Off the board. Passed. That's an invulnerable. However, now 5 up for no pain. Come on, lucky 5 up. Hooray!
Have that. I've got a heavy bolter on the front of it, so I'm going to give that a go. So we've got 1 hit so far, rerolling for twin linked. All hit, straight 4's the wound you, because mine's strength 4. So yeah. So we're talking 5s, yeah. So you've got 1 wound to take, saves of 2
so
up.
2 up.
Yep. So can't believe how well they're weathering this, it's ridiculous.
Don't even waste my time. Come back when you can hurt me.
Oh, I see. Right, okay then. Well, we'll fight and fire with both Sicarans on the front of that unit then.
So is this glaive nil? Iron Hands 1?
Glaive 1 hull point.
Oh yeah, there's a hull point.
Yeah. Sons of Horus turns 1, Iron Hands 0. Okay then, so I'm going to open up both straight into the front of that unit. Cool. So I'm going to do the accelerator autocannons from both straight into the front of it first. So 4 shots each, 8 shots. 3s with a reroll. So I've got 6 so far. Okay, so I've hit with 7. Strength 6 versus your toughness 5. 3s to wound you. Come on, you 6s. Right, I've got 3 rending hits.
Oh wow.
And then I've got a mere 1 normal save to make. So okay. How are you going to do it?
Okay, so Iron Hand's going to try to tank these accelerator autocannon shots. So lucky 2 up on my standard bearer. And then 3 invulnerables on my Praetor. 3s. Reroll for no pain.
Oh, tanks it again.
Good work, Matthew.
Okie dokie then. So I've got my 2 Sicarans are going to fire the secondary armaments, heavy bolters. It's 3 shots each, so I need 18 dice total for the 6 against the bike. So it's 3s to hit. No reroll this time, unfortunately. Just like to add, these are brand new dice and they're performing rather admirably. Unfortunately, rather less admirably than that. So again, it's going to be 5s because of the -1 to strength and the toughness 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 saves to make, please, buddy.
Okay.
4 saves.
2 ups, is that right?
2 ups, you only 4 failed saves as well.
So I will take this on the nearest to nearest, so the majority of the unit. Okay, so 2s. Perfect.
Absolutely love it.
Again. Right, okay, it's going to have to break out the old Venator now. So we know that we've got the main neutrons coming straight over. So that's going to be a hit. And unfortunately, I can't see anything with the las cannons, but I will have the heavy bolter. So my first shot is obviously going to be the big gun. So 2 shots, hitting on 3s. 1 hit. It is strength 9. So 2s. That's okay. So where were we going to take that on?
I'll take that cover save.
Yes.
On a normal trooper, a normal chosen. So 4s, no.
Couple on.
5 up for no pain.
Oh.
Okay. 3 heavy bolter shots. Okie dokie. So I hit twice. 5's up. No wounds. Okay, so we're going to fire the Venator into the bikes again. So because the main gun has fired, it is snapshots only because it's an ordnance weapon. So I've only got the heavy bolter remaining. So that's 6s to hit. Unfortunately, well wide. No problem. That's a bit disappointing from this side of the board. They seem to have been made of much thinner stuff than we thought. Iron 10th indeed. Right, so next shot is I'm going to try and reduce that Rhino to a smoking crater. So I'm going to fire the Stormblade. I'm going to fire 2 shots, so I'm not going to overcharge it this turn, and put that straight into the Rhino. Right then. So luckily the Stormblade shooting was a little bit more successful than everything else. So it went well wide with the main armament. They got a little bit overzealous and decided to take out a neighbouring village. But luckily the last cannons made good of the job and caught it like an apple. Not only killing 3 men in the process, leaving a smoking crater, but also pinning the survivors. So not quite so bad considering. So yeah, that pretty much brings a close to my shooting phase. Ready for Matt to try and exact some retribution upon me.
Yeah, Matt, I think you got away quite lightly from that first turn. You had a lot of firepower come out you, didn't you?
This week.
Yeah,
this is what happens when you steal the initiative from people, Dan.
Yeah, it could be worse, but it's enabled me to at least get a little bit of movement in there, stop me bottlenecking me quite so easily, and it has in fact neutralised a little bit of the manoeuvrability you have, so that's can only be a good thing, so not too bad.
Iron Hands turn 1, we had a good turn, lots of mobility. Basically over here we had the Sickle Venator moved around 12 inches, hoping to get a lucky shot on the Stormlord, but alas it's out of range. The Fellblade charged up 12 inches. The Stormblade charged 12 inches as well. Both Dreadnought Talons are going to run because they're not in range of anything, because they're just a bunch of cowards on their baseline, so they're out of range of my Graviton 18-inch range. So they're now going to run, and I've declared at the start of my movement turn the Quartus Contemptors are going to do their atomic overcharge and run an extra 2 inches. So I'm going to do the run distances and to see if I overheat in my shooting phase in a minute. My other Talon is going to run as well. The Rhino has moved. My bikes are hiding in a bit of terrain, and the jewel of the turn really was 2 things coming down. So I had a Leviathan, really danger close, could have easily gone off the board, but alas, the Iron Hands, the Gorgon would be proud, we rolled a hit. So he's right up the back of either target I choose to destroy first. We've also got lucky, again, precision accuracy, the Dreadclaw drop pod landed down and didn't scatter. So whilst I might be giving him a bit of a target to shoot through, I've got a Jink and there's something inside it that's going to, look forward to coming out next turn. So actually I'm in quite a good position. I'm pincering almost. So a good turn for Iron Hands. Iron Hand is shooting phase 1. So the Sickle Venator, because it didn't fire its neutron laser beam, it gets the opportunity to now fire both las cannons at the Sons of Horus Stormlord. So, 2 lucky lasses, both here. Woo. Am I on your side, Armour? I'll roll some dice and see what we get. Yeah, so one glance on the Stormblade.
Right, so I do get a cover save for that, because I do have some of my tank out of your arc of fire, so you're going to be 5s up to prevent that. So no, unfortunately, it slammed straight into the front of it, so that is a glance, and now we're down to 8 hull points.
So firing my Leviathan Siege Dreadnought into the back of Dan's Sickle Venator. So 2 melter guns, 2s to hit, 1 hit, 1 miss. So because I'm within melter range, it's 8 plus penetrated. So that's a total of 15 against his rear armour 12. Unfortunately, there's no cover save.
No.
So I just need a lucky 5 to blow it sky high. A 3. So that goes to 5.
Weapon destroyed.
Weapon destroyed.
Right, so randomisation. Should we go with main weapon 1, 2, 3, 4 and reroll a 5 or a 6? Does that suit you?
I'd love to.
Okay.
Big dice. 1.
1.
1 it is. Ah, it's a
no,
5.
reroll.
Oh, 1 it is. Ah, it's
4.
a 4.
So this last cannon here has
it's lost a whole
destroyed,
point.
and it has lost a whole point.
So I'm firing my Iron Hands Fellblade, Sons of Horus Stormblade. Unfortunately, I've kind of positioned it so well, only my main barrel cannon can hit and see anything. Unfortunately, the Demolisher's out of range, the Multi-Melt's out of range, and the 4 las cannons are out of line of sight. So I've rolled off camera, I've hit, I'm firing my Accelerator Cannon HE round, so it's an anti-tank round. So it's Strength 9, AP 2, Armour Bane. So 9 plus penetrated.
Cool.
Straight through the front of it.
Yeah, so that's 18.
Yep.
It's Armour AP 2.
Okay.
So lucky 6 for the Gorgon. On camera, Oh, it's a 2.
Ooh.
Just a hull point.
No problem. Down to 7.
7 hull points. So another great deployment from the Iron Hands. So well I can't actually see much. So I've gone for a bit of a lucky shot really. So there's a really good opening in terms of my Stormblade against Dan Sikaran, and because I fired at a big, 10-inch apocalypse-sized blast, I've managed to clip all of them. I did move a little bit, and he has had some cover saves, which unfortunately he didn't make.
Completely fluffed
Never mind.
the answer.
I'm now going to blow all 3 tanks up.
So we've penetrated all 3 vehicles, 1 penetrating each, and we're just going to roll the results now. So the AP2, is that right, Matt?
AP2, 10-2. So the Sikaran number 1. No, so that's just a 2. So that is can't move or shoot.
Yep.
Second one, can't move or shoot. And lucky sick, no. So just a hull point. So a pretty lackluster end to my shooting phase. I tried firing my las cannons on my Stormblade onto the glaive, but unfortunately I whiffed both las cannons, a 1 and a 2. Didn't even give him a cover save because he doesn't need it because I whiffed. But next turn is going to be fruity.
Right, so second turn for the Sons of Horus. I've done my reserves rolls and done some movement. So luckily enough, everything except the Lightning Claw Jester in have decided to turn up. They're quite punctual. Really made use of the tip of the spear, which allowed me to re-roll the ones to do my reserves, and I had to do that on 2 occasions, and luckily they turned up, so that's worked in my favour. So progressing down the battle line, Tybalt Marr and his Spartan has decided to enter the fray. He's entered. My Jester in my Land Raider with the Plasma. Not done much with the glaive, just positioned it turret wise to take advantage of those guys. These are standing their ground, the old Sicarans, to make the most of the fire opportunity they've got on that pod, because it's all they've pretty much got to shoot at the moment. Sikaran Venator's chosen to turn to face its accuser, because it's a bit of a worry now. These Land Raiders similarly have decided to turn up to maximise their potential firepower into the back of it. And then I've moved my Stormblade to wallop off a massive great shot into the middle of his Matt Iron Hands army and see what happens. So that's going to be my movement into shooting. Right, so slightly disappointing off the old Stormblade. It's decided to wallop off that big old shot, hit the front of the Contemptors straight in the kisser, took side on the Stormblade and his mate with the carries behind him, and unfortunately Matt has seemed to roll all his cover saves, which is slightly gutting.
So let's have a look at these cover saves, shall we, Matt? Oh!
I'm just hoping he's getting all his luck out of the way early.
Oh well,
it's a bit of a gutter, but that's from the shots from the main cannon.
The flesh is weak.
So what's next then? What we got?
I'm going to be firing the last cannon from that side sponson smack bang into this chap here, and then the last cannon on that side into the side of the Leviathan. Catch that in a second. Okie dokie, so my Land Raiders have come on from reserve and positioned themselves to fire into the Leviathan, which has come screaming down. Now unfortunately he is well shrouded because of that drop pod, so I'm going to take my shots now. So I've got 4 twinning las cannons, 3s to hit with a reroll. Okie dokie then, so I've hit it 3 times and I'm going to be looking for strength 9 versus armour 12, 3s or more. So that's 2 glances and a penetrating hit. Now Matt has
so 2 glances, 3 up cover save.
Yep.
I'll explain why. Oh, 1's on through, and the penetrating.
Yep.
Passed.
Great.
So basically, because of the burning descent, the drop pod's come down. It's made a massive swirling cloud and fire all around it. So it's shrouded, and therefore that's shrouded. And because it's shooting through a unit, 5 up plus shrouded, 3 up. So that's 1 hull point.
No problem. Okay, so now I'm going to fire the Venator. Main cannon straight into the front of the Leviathan. So it's 2 shots, 3s to hit. 2 hits straight off the bat. Unfortunately the Sikaran, because it's snap shooting, only got a 1 las cannon shot off, which it failed to hit with, unsurprisingly. Couldn't use the neutron, so that is unfortunate. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm only snap shooting with the Sikarans into the pod, but it's my best chance because if I can get the accelerator on it, he can't jink. So I'm going to be rolling to hit, so that's 8 shots with the accelerator autocannon, 6s to hit with a reroll. So I've got 1 hit so far. 2 hits total.
Wow.
Not bad. So we're looking for armor 12, and it's strength 7. So I need 5s and 6s. Go you 6s. 1-6 penetrating hit. It is rending, but not really significant at this point. So I basically roll straight. I rolled a 3, so it doesn't really affect it. It's just a hull point. So it can't move or shoot, but it is a pod. So
Matt, were you jinking at all? We should have asked you that.
Ignores jink.
It does. Okay, cool. Excellent.
So basically, that is just a. I can still move, but I can't snap fire. It's got no shooting weapon, so fortunately, I can negate that next turn.
no problem. Right, so the Glaive's popped a shot off. Uses the beam, goes straight through 1 inch wide. It's going to capture 3 of the bikes, including his character. So I'll be rolling for those. Strength 10. Oh, sorry, I do apologise. Strength 8 versus your toughness of 5. You're obviously -1, strength 7, so 2. Oh dear. Okay, so that's 1 wound, AP of 2.
3 up invulnerable.
Saves it.
Gutted. Okay, so I'm going to fire the last cannons through the window straight into them. Oh, so that's 2 hits and 2's to wound. 2 wounds, cover saves.
3 up on my captain, my
Okay.
praetor. No, is that feel no pain? No, so he's lost a wound.
Okay.
And then the second one on the captain, my praetor, passed. 3
Okay.
up invulnerable.
No problem at all. And then I'm going to fire this twinning las cannon at the pod because I don't have really much else to shoot at. So, are you jinking?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we've got 2 hits, 9s versus 12s, 2 penetrating hits. Drink away, sir.
Lucky dice. 2 4-ups.
Nice.
Easy
unlucky
for
dice,
breakfast. Oh,
Please.
1
Right, good. 1 calls it. Okay, so 1 dice plus 1, so 4.
Can't move or shoot.
Okay, no problem. So it's down to a single hull point now.
So I've lost 2 hull points counting up.
So, right, we've got this Land Raider here. He's going to fire into the bike squad with his last cannons. So it's 2 shots, luckily with a reroll. So that's 2 hits, 2's to wound you, 8 versus 5. It's 1 save of, well, it's going to be either cover or invulnerable, sir.
So this would be taken on my power claw, lightning claw.
Okay.
So 4 cover save.
Yeah, indeed.
No, 1.
Snuffs it.
5 up for no pain.
Oh, he gets it. Great.
That apothecary, they're just so hard. Okay, right then, so I'm going to also fire the heavy bolters.
I'll jump on this. Oh, no, that's right, I don't need to.
No, you don't need to. So I've hit you twice,
Okay.
and it is unfortunately 5 to wound you. So no wounds. The Spartan's also going to have a go, so that's 4 las cannon shots. With a reroll. 3 hits from that range too. Horus is going to be most disappointed. So I've only got 1
Damn.
wound. It's just not going well today, is it?
Oh.
He's fluffed it, so I don't know who that was on.
Oh, sorry, that would. Oh, sorry.
So feel no pain, sir.
Feel no pain. Oh, that was a 6.
Standard bearers snuffed it, or the lightning claw, which one's which. Okay, so the Spartan also put his guns into the command squad and caused a wound on the standard bearer and killed the chap who was riding around with the lightning claw. A little disappointing, to be honest, for the shooting for this turn. Some really good rolling for cover saves from Matt and some pretty spectacularly poor rolls for wounding for me with last cannons. These things, the old bike squad, are absolutely nails. I now understand why he takes them when normally most people avoid bikes like the plague. So fair play for foresight. That would be the end of my second shooting phase.
So Iron Hands turn 2. Not great start. I rolled for my 5 melter guns in a Dreadclaw drop pod. Didn't come in, but that's okay. So in terms of still putting down under a bit of pressure, my Leviathan has come fully out of the Dreadnought drop pod and is staring down the Stormblade. I've got a Contemptor that was hiding in the wounded Dreadclaw drop pod, so that's come out and that's looking at several targets. I made I didn't need any cover saves, so the guys have bolted through that terrain. There's loads of windows and doors to get through, so that's fine. And they're looking at a nice little Fellblade. My Stormblade's moved up to get some cheeky little targets. I mean, Dan's gonna get a bit of cover save, but that's fine. My 6 Dreadnoughts in the middle have all shuffled forward. The only thing in range at the moment is my Aelos off my Doridio. So he's going to see if he can pluck a cheeky little side on one of the Sicarans. They're all going to run anyway. My tacticals have moved up, and that's going to have a little run into cover just in case. And then last but not least, my Venator has moved around the side because it's looking down to see if you either can get Dan's Venator or maybe his Stormblade as well. So it's a target-rich environment, as Tom Cruise would say right now. So here we go, Iron Hands turn 2 shooting. First of all, my Sicaran Venator into Dan's Stormblade. So this is the neutron laser beam, 2 shots, both hit. Okay, because it's an ordnance weapon, I can roll 2 dice and pick the highest. So for the first hit, 9 against, no, sorry, strength 10.
16 straight through.
So 1 pen.
And then the second one, pen. So that's 2 penetrating hits. AP 1, what does it do? Nice 6, thank you very much. Okay, so that basically goes to explodes. So that's D3, and that is just another hull point. So the D3, 1. So just one more
So
hull
up
point.
to 2, 3, 4, 4 hull points you've done on it so far. Not bad.
And then 2 snapshooting las cannons for my Sicaran Venator against the Stormblade. No, unfortunately not. My Quartus class Contemptors have decided to run. So the lead one ran a staggering 6 inches, and because I overcharged the atomic overcharge, an extra 2 as well. He didn't take a whole point for that, so that's good. But then the stragglers at the back, they kind of moved 2 inches plus 2 inches, so they didn't really do much. And then the guy with both one chain fist, he actually took a wound. I took a whole point, so that's really enjoyable. And then the other 2 Contemptors, they just ambled along a couple of inches, even with fleet, they're still only a couple of inches. So they're not as quick as I thought they would be, but they're kind of holding the centre. That's the main thing.
Castrol, that's what it is. Too much GTX.
Coming. Guys, we're coming! Round 3, can we come in? So what we're going to do now is fire my Doridio Aeolos missile system into this Sicaran here. Now I don't need line of sight, and it goes over intervening terrain, so it's 2 to hit. Strength 6, armour 12 on the side, because it always hits your side armour. So a lucky 6 to glance, unfortunately. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to finish off with my Leviathan. He's going to basically fire both metal guns into the Stormblade. So I need 2s to hit, both hit. He's got armour Ceramite, so unfortunately that negates that. So I'm just looking for a good old fashioned 5, and I roll a double 1. So excuse my language, but
coming down to claws.
So I'm going to have to do it by hand. So the Fellblade, Iron Hands Fellblade, shot at several targets, being a super heavy vehicle. So put twin-linked quad las cannons into Sons of Horus Stormblade. Unfortunately, didn't do anything, whiffed on both penetration. The main barrel, the accelerated cannon, fired into a Sicaran, the middle Sicaran with a HE, a high impact shell, and managed to put a penetrating hit on it and stunning it and taking a hull point. It also put a demolisher cannon over, hitting the Fellblade. Hitting the Fellglaive, but unfortunately the glaive managed to make a cover save, so denied me that through. So basically a shaken and stunned Sicaran. So some good luck with my Iron Hands Stormblade. I've managed to fire this big apocalyptic plasma blast onto the Fellblade, onto the Fellglaive, and managed to clip both the Land Raider and the cheeky little Sicaran next to it. So we're going to roll these on camera because it's an ordnance. So on the Sicaran, so it's strength 10 and 14, so that's penetrated.
Yeah.
Onto the glaive itself, so strength 10, penetrated, and onto the Land Raider, penetrated.
Wow, okay, great. So through a pen on each machine.
Right, so we're going to be getting some cover saves for intervening models. So for the Sicaran, for the Dreadnought, we have go straight through it. I'm not going to use that dice anymore.
Looking for a 5 up for intervening models.
Yep, and then I'm going for the glaive. Glaive is nope, that takes it. It's going to be a 4 up for the Land Raider because of the building in the way. Makes it. So the Land Raider walks away unscathed. So the Sicaran is dead anyway, but do you blow it up?
It's now deaded. So this is AP2, strength 10 AP2, goes to 6, just an unmobilised.
So it's just wrecked now.
It's just wrecked.
And then I've been saving all my 6s for that little glaive, so come on, lucky 6. Oh, so close.
So it's 5 plus 1 is 6, so it is a whole
Another whole point.
Yes.
So that's 10 whole points left.
Yep, no problem.
So Ironhand's Contemptor has got 2 graviton guns hiding between his talons and claws. So he's fired them into the Felglaive and got 2 hits. So it's a 3-inch blast. They've both hit. So haywire table. Oh, a 1 and a 2. So 1 whole point. So, quick summary of my shooting turn. It was alright, it could have been a bit better, but we've managed to wreck Sicuran, take 3 more hull points off a glaive, strip a couple of points off the Stormblade, and to just kind of mitigate his firing lines. I've got 3 good combat possibilities and options now, so fingers crossed we can take 1 or at least 2 super heavies off the board this table and make a grown man cry. So my assault turn 3, my Leviathan Siege Dreadnought has made it into combat with the Stormblade. So I'm just going to resolve the Hammer Wrath. So because he's got a rule called Crush and Charge, 2 Hammer Wrath attacks, strength 8.
Against rear armour 12, so we need force. Yep.
So 1 pen. What does a pen do? Well, it doesn't really do anything, but so just 1 more hull point.
Yep, down to 3. And
then on the charge, he's got 4 basic plus 1 for charge, plus 1 for two weapons, a drill and a siege claw. So 3s, and these are armor bane. So for the first one, it does strength 10 plus, so pen. The second one, pen. Third one, pen. Fourth one, oh no, 10. Doesn't. So that's 3.
So what's a glance? 4.
8.
Double 1 is 12. Back armour.
Yeah, so that's 3 pens and a glance.
Yep, so it's dead anyway at this point. Now you need to roll to see if it goes mental.
Of course it will. I'll roll a 6 now and it'll hit everything. No, unfortunately not. So it doesn't go catalytic.
It's just gone everywhere. All over the shop.
So I've just had a great combat phase. I want to shake his hand because I know what it's like to lose a Stormblade. I love my Stormblade and it's not nice when they go. So unfortunately Leviathan's made short work of that Stormblade, so that's 1 less thing to shoot at me.
I'm unfortunately reaping what I sowed on that one. I had a terrible shooting phase last turn and it's coming to bite me in the arse. Never mind.
It's because I've landed so danger close.
It's come to.
I took a risk landing here. I could have easily gone off the table, but actually, fortunately, that put me in a turn 2 auto charge. So I managed to get my Contemptor Prime into position on a flank charge, so obviously rear armour. So a strength 7 impact hit, so Hammer of the Wrath 10. No, unfortunately, that won't do anything to Dan's rear armour. So I've got 3 attacks as standard, plus 1 for 2 weapons, plus 1 for charging. So hit on 3s. So not a bad round. So I've rolled to hit and I've got 4 hits on him. So these are all armour bane because I've got a chain fist on there. So rear armour 12, I'm strength 10, 2 dice add the total. So the first one is a penetrating. The second one, penetrating. Third one, penetrating. And the fourth one, penetrating. So that's 4 penetrating hits. AP2. What does it do? Sorry?
Chain fist, AP1.
AP1, thank you, because it's a chain fist.
Yeah, so add 2 to the result.
Add 2 to the result of these. So that's a lucky 6, that's a good thing. So basically, that's 3 hull points.
Plus whatever you do.
Plus that 4.
Yep.
Plus D3.
Yep.
So 2. So that's 6 hull points.
Ooh, down to 3.
Down to 3. So this is where it comes down to. We've got 3 hull points left on Dan's Felglaive. I've got my Praetor. He's a bit of a pimp in combat. He's got 7 attacks on the charge. He's got a 2-up, a 3-up and a 5-up. So it's pretty tasty. Mastercrafted power fist. So fingers crossed I can do this. I just need 3 hull points. So 3s to wound, 3s to hit if you like, 4s to glance, and I can re-roll 1 of these to hit.
How many attacks have you got, Matt?
7.
7 attacks to do 3 hull points.
So fingers crossed, Dave. Re-roll.
For Mastercrafted?
All hit.
Wow.
All hit.
So we want 4s to glance, 5 to pen.
4s to glance, 5 to pen.
2 penetrating hits.
Oh, 2 penetrating.
Wow.
Then you get that all important 6 plus 1 friendly.
Couldn't manage it.
So AP 2 power fist, and I'm gonna roll a 6 now. Just
no. Down to final hull point.
Oh, gutting, limping around. So it's going to come down to one of my trusty chosen. A single crack grenade. This is when I need the 6. So 3s to hit you.
Right.
Change my dice. Just lucky 6.
6 to do it.
Dan's looking a little bit worried in the background.
6 to do a glaive.
Oh, that was a 6
4.
Quack, quack. I only did 4 or 5.
Dan, are you relieved about that?
Yeah, my bummer was going a little bit. But, well, it still is a 5 and 4 power.
End of Iron Hands turn 3. Not all in all, not a bad turn overall. Some great mobility, some great shooting, and combat was great. Knocked a super heavy out and nearly knocked another super heavy out. Never mind, because Dan's going to have some good reserves coming in. It's just a case of what he's going to do with his Terminators now. I'm in combat, so I might be able to withstand it. Who knows? I've bottlenecked him in. That's the main thing. So his mobility is limited. So we'll see what he can do.
Righty then, so Sons of Horus turn 3. Bit of a bloody turn last time. I could have done with keeping my plasma, but that's just one of those things. Lucky escape with the glaive. He's limping around. Less out of you, boy.
We got world's smallest violin.
Oh.
We got a turn to go for yet.
Here's a phone. Phone's all he cares.
Oh. No. Right. Okay. So we're going to crack on. So unfortunately, my Justerin with the lightning claws. Goodness knows what they're doing, but they are not here. So they again failed, even on a re-rollable 1. Literally, the 2 was what I didn't want, and they got a 2. So I've done a bit of movement. I've moved my Land Raider up to gain a bit of sight on the old Sakaran Venator. I've moved this Land Raider up and disgorged its cargo of breaches with the all-important melter guns to, hopefully, he says, crossing his fingers, teach Leviathan a lesson. These 2 Sakarans of different types have moved in to make an impression on him as well. This, unfortunately, this Sakaran here is brown bread, so that's all we can do. The glaive isn't going anywhere, there's nowhere for it to go, so it's a case of sell itself dearly, and the Justerin have piled up, crashed straight through the wall, disgorged from their cargo bay, and the Spartan has taken a break through that wall as well. Now, when I was moving the Land Raider, I did roll a 1 for my difficult terrain, but luckily I fitted dozer blades to pretty much everything they can have one, and I was able to roll and get through. So that is the end of my turn 3 movement. Right, I've opened fire with the Spartan into Shadrak's personal ride, and I've succeeded in basically crippling it. It is now dead, and Matt's all the Iron Hands models have disgorged from that, and he's yet to take his pinning test.
So let's have a quick pinning check, Matt, just to see what you're doing.
I should be
well, it's a 1, yeah.
You're all right on 10.
Oh, it's all 1, he loves it.
I get back up now. Reanimation.
Okie dokie then. So, in its last minutes of desperation, that very, very battered glaive has decided to pop off a shot with the main Volkite cannonade. So, it has killed, oh no, sorry, it took 1 wound off his commander and then deflegated and killed another, which was his standard bearer, which was quite useful. Didn't affect the pod, unfortunately. Flew past this and immobilised the Contemptor, which was quite lucky, and then has inflicted a shaken result on the back Rhino. So that's not too bad. Put a couple of heavy bolter shots down, but it was largely laughed off. And then I did use a glance on the Contemptor from the twin las cannons on the sponson there. This Land Raider did try and affect, unfortunately, the Storm Blade, but it didn't do much because the cover save was made by the Iron Hands, and then it managed to evaporate a character from the squad. Okay, so next up we have the Sakaran Venator firing to the back of the Leviathan. So we've got the main neutron, so that's 2 shots hitting on a 3. At that range, seriously guys, come on. Okay, so it is 2 dice picking the highest against armour 12 from 10. So it has gone straight through the back of it. So
4 up invulnerable.
You've got 4 up invulnerable. Which you made. Okay, I've got 1 las cannon for snapshotting. Misses anyway. And then I'm going to put the other Sakaran into the back of it. So we have accelerator auto cannons, which luckily have a reroll. Oh dear. Okay, so I've got 2 hits. We're going to need strength 7 5s. Go you 6 on a rend. So, invulnerable save, please.
4. Oh,
off the board, off the board.
It's a 6.
It's a 1.
It's a 1, it's off
That's a
the
4.
board. If you can't hit the board.
Saved.
Unlucky Dan, that's some bad dice.
Yeah.
That's some unlucky dice, mate.
Okay, I'm going to fire the 2 melter guns from here also into it. So
From the Breacher squad?
yes, indeed. and they're going to miss horribly.
One's twin linked, isn't it?
Oh no, I do apologise. That's 2 hits. 2's to hit.
Why?
We have Death Dealers. All of my infantry have +1 to hit within 12 inches. So 2s do hit you. I become effective ballistic skill 5 against that. Okay, so we've got 2 Ironbane hits into the side of the Leviathan from the melter guns. So first, penetrating hit. Second is also a penetrating hit. We've got 2 4-up invulnerables, please, sir.
Like a boss.
One goes through. +2. 5. That's a weapon destroyed result. Ooh, okay.
So there's lots of weapons on there.
Okay then, so I did actually luck out quite well with my penetrating hit there. So I got a weapon destroyed result, and we randomised the rolling for the weapon destroyed, and luckily, Phosphex Discharger, believe me, that's what I wanted, because that would have messed up my breaches, something rotten. Okay then, so that is all the shooting into the Leviathan. Okay then, so we have my Land Raider shooting into the Venator. So we've already assessed the angles of fire. We've worked out that my left sponson can hit side and my right sponson is on the front. So left sponson misses, but I do get a reroll. That's a hit. So we get strength 9 versus armour 12. So we're going to need 3 to straight through the side of it. Okay then, damage 2. Just can't shoot next turn, snapshots only. And then the right sponson is a hit. Straight through the front. Again, snapshots only, so it's down to 1 hull point, and because only you're making snapshots next turn, could be a lot worse. Okay, so I opened fire with the Jester in. I wellied up with the bolt guns because jinking bikes, there's no point wasting my plasma shots this turn. So I did hit him and wound him twice, but the one failed save was taken on the Feel No Pain, so they're all good. Okay, so Sons of Horus, turn 3 shooting, mixed bag. So I've managed to cripple Shadrak's command unit, basically get him walking now. The glaive popped a couple of shots off and killed a few items and did a little bit of damage downfield with the Contemptor. My shooting against Leviathan was pretty poor, if I'm honest with you. It should have been dead really by all accounts. And I have pretty much managed to nobble the Venator. It's got 1 hull point left and it's not firing its main gun next turn. So all in all, not too bad, not too great either. Right, so the inaugural combat where I actually get to swing back, Justerin did streak in, basically smashed his normal bikes to pieces. Axes falling all over the place. The challenge, it should have overcarried and killed his Praetor. Because he was in the challenge, he was safe from harm, and he did kill my chain fist wielding Justerin on his swing, but luckily the remainder of my invulnerable saves were made from the carryover. So Matt did unfortunately pass his leadership test because he only lost by 1, so he didn't run away like the big girl he is. So
I mean, your deployment zone, what are you on about? You've not moved from your deployment zone.
Don't need to, get you to come to me.
So Iron Hand's turn 3 movement. Quick summary. So my reserves didn't come in, so my Dreadclaw with metal guns are still in low orbit. I've moved my Stormblade from here up to here to kind of get some pot shots. That's allowed my 6 Contemptors moving around. However, I have got 1 immobilised. That's very good. I'm hoping to get some pot shots off of my Aeolus and some Kira's assault cannons. Shadrak's units tidied itself up. The Fellblade has moved out to take some pot shots, see if I can ping some of the flanking Land Raiders off, and my tacticals have moved into some cover to hug that. And then in terms of the centre of the table, my Dreadclaw has basically done a difficult terrain test, landed in that terrain, did a heat blast on the rear of the Venator, but unfortunately didn't do anything. The Leviathans moved away, facing down both Sicarans, and the Contemptor is basically stayed in combat, or nearest combat, with the Fellglaive. Let's go. So Star of Iron Hands shooting turn 3. My Sicaran was snap shooting anyway, so he couldn't fire its heavy big neutron laser beam. So missed with the las cannons at the Land Raider in the corner. My Fellblade opened up pretty much everything at that Land Raider in the corner, so I managed to get 1 hull point. However, the autocannon, the accelerator cannon, fired over to Dan's breacher unit and managed to ping 3 off. So forced a leadership test on 30% casualty, but Dan rolled like a boss and got a 1 and a 2.
Yep.
My Leviathan got a lucky. I chose to only fire 1 melter gun at the Sicaran main battle tank because I'm going to charge that, but also multi-charge both tanks. So I've chosen the Sicaran the main battle tank as my primary charge, if you like, and got a lucky hull point there. So that's fantastic. I've started running my little posse of dreadnoughts. So my quarters have moved 6 or 7 inches with fleet, and fortunately neither two took any atomic overcharge hits. And now I'm about to fire 3 Keres autocannons into Dan's Justarian transport Land Raider. So fingers crossed we can get something out of 18 shots.
Get the village people firing their guns out.
So iron hand shooting, I've got my Cortis Dreadnought. It's the first time I've ever used his guns in anger. So I've got 6 shots from the Keres at the Land Raider, so fingers crossed. So 3s to hit. Great first start. And hopefully rend again, so I'm looking for 6s again. Got 1 lucky 6, so that is effectively 12 at the moment. So what does it do? Oh, a lucky 6. So that is a penetrating.
A 4-up cover.
And it's just spanged off the concrete, so unfortunately not to.
Saved it, excellent news.
Do you know how hard that was to achieve that? 3 6s?
Almost as hard as my seats.
So now we're going to repeat that with the Keres behind him, but this is a Contemptor Prime, as denoted by the white head and stripes. So he is firing 6 shots and 6 shots, so 12 shots. This time hitting on 2s. So a bit better. And then lucky 6s again. I predict 8 6s.
Oh,
And none.
I'm not doing a lottery number, I'll say that much.
So now I'm flying my Doridio Aeolus system at the Venator behind the train. Now unfortunately we don't need line of sight because it's got independent tracking. So here goes, the 2s, fantastic. And lucky 6s this time because his armour is 12 and mine's 26. And unfortunately no armour penetration that turn.
Ruining my paintwork.
Iron hand shooting, I'm going to use my Stormblade and target Dan's Spartan. Now he has got flare shield, so that does reduce the strength of my plasma blast gun. I'm going to go full strength, so it's a 10-inch blast, 10-2. However, Dan reduces it to strength 9. So I've hit already because we've done it off camera. This is the effect. Pens.
Ooh.
Lucky pen. So what does it do? So this is AP2, a 6 would be great.
Dan's a little bit upset.
Yeah, it's my command unit. Never mind.
Right, we will deal with that and get back to you.
So the plasma blast gun on the Stormblade managed to knock out a lucky 6 with an AP2 round Dan Spartan. So there was a Spartan and now there's just Tybalt Marr. So
yeah, it's a bit dire, isn't it? Never mind. Never mind.
And I've got a nice little centre of dreadnoughts phoning up, Shadrak in space. Well, Shadrak's here, but the Gorgon up in space saying, "Oh, we've got targets now, Gov. What do we do with these?" Because they've just been running forward.
At this point, get over
Viva
it.
the Gorgon!
Get
He's still alive.
over
He's
it.
like Vulcan. Vulcan lives. Gorgon lives.
In a box.
The flesh is weak. That's what I'm saying to you. The flesh is weak. So the end of Iron Hand shooting. It's been a really good turn, to be fair. I've managed to pop a Spartan, some guys, and a few other bits. But the trophy of the round, if you like, my Contemptor Prime has been big game hunting. He's managed to grab the last wound, the last hull point off the glaive, and it's a bit unfortunate because it's the combat debut and it's not done the best it could have, perhaps.
All right and appropriate. If it's new, it's got to die. And unfortunately, it's been somewhat true to type on that one. It's just not going well.
That's taken like a man, and I'm a bit like, okay, I've had some good rolls, and I know that. So, but the Contemptor Prime is ready. He's now going to look for another target to go and chew up. So turn 3 combat. My Praetor, Legion Praetor, is still stuck in combat with these Justarians. So issued a challenge, and like the cowards that the Sons of Horus are, they
I'm not allowing you for scraping by with the skin of your teeth on another challenge again. Nah, we're going to clobber you with axes. That's where it's going.
So my Praetor's got 6 attacks basically. He's got 4 base digital weapons and 2 specialist combat weapons, because he's got a mastercrafted power weapon, power fist, and a power gun blade. So this time I'm going to use my power gun blade, because I'm going to see if I can just, whittle a few off.
So we're needing
3s to hit me, weapon skill 5, weapon skill 6.
Wow, we need those 6s next for the old Paragon blade.
Reroll, mastercrafted.
No, it's mastercrafted power fist.
Paragon blade is a mastercrafted weapon.
Oh, I love you, Dan.
Whee! Right, so what we're looking for now?
So I'm strength 5.
I am toughness 4.
So 3s to wounds, but 6s are instant death.
So 1 instant death.
Tanks it.
Which we saved, yep.
4.
And 3.
Normal saves are 2+. Or 4+. 4+. That is a cocked dice there. 3. Oh. So 1's taken, 1 wound.
Oh, that could have been better.
That could have been better indeed. So I get to strike you back. I have 3 dudes who can attack, because unfortunately Cowardly Custards had to hide at the back. So hitting on 4s. That wasn't quite so impressive. It is 4s to wound you. Strength 5, toughness 5. 1 save of 3 up invulnerable.
3 up invulnerable. Like a boss.
Okay, so I lose combat.
Ooh.
And unfortunately, I'm going to brick it. So
so you failed leadership by 1?
I failed my leadership by 2, in fact. It did
2.
a wound on me. So plus my initiative of 4 is 9. 3 plus 5 is 8. So I do make
6, I think.
5 Praetor.
Is it Praetor?
Mm-hmm.
So Sons of Horus get away.
I do break. So 2d6. 9.
Wow. Okay. So Ironhand's combat, my Leviathan, has done a multi-charge. So this is a bit interesting. So what I've done in my shooting phase, I had the Sicaran main battle tank as my primary. So I fired one shot there. So that's who I'm charging. But because I can do a disordered multi-charge, we've checked the rules and we don't get my +1 for charging because it's a disordered charge. However, we still get my crushing weight special rule for my Siege Dreadnought. So I get my 2 Hammer Wrath and my 4 basic normal ones. So my basic normal ones can be split, and that has to go on to the main one I've chosen. So before I roll, I'll do obviously the 2 on the main battle tank. I'll do 2 attacks on him as well, and I'll do 2 attacks on I'll do 2 attacks on him and 2 attacks on the other one.
So 2 on the Sicaran, 2 on the Venator.
Yep.
So your Hammer of Wrath are on the Sicaran.
Yep. So strength 8, crushing charge.
On 12.
So lucky 4s. So 2 3s. So missed.
Okay, so nothing.
Okay, so my 2 attacks as normal on the Sicaran battle tank. So 3s to hit, 1 hit. Armour Bane, so 10
versus 12, so 2s or more.
Penned,
which means it's killed, but do you make it blow up?
5 goes for 6.
Yep, it's just wrecked now.
Yep.
Okay, and then on the other one, so 3s to hit, both hit. So the first one, what does it do? 14 penetrated, and the second one, also 16 penetrated.
Oh.
So that's gone as well because there's 1 whole point gone on already.
Yeah, does it explode?
And it explodes.
It goes kaboom. It won't affect anything, but it does get removed.
Yeah. So that was quite an effective turn. You're charging 2 vehicles with Leviathan.
Yep.
So quite pleased with that.
I think it's a great life choice. I think if you do this at home, kids, you just need to be mindful. You need to be really clear on who's prescribing what is your primary objective, what's your primary tank you're going to go for, and then fingers crossed the dice go your way.
Great stuff. So that's your turn. There's no more assaults left in your turn, is that right?
Correct, yes.
Cool. And we'll move on to the Sons of Horus.
Thank you.
Right. Sons of Horus turn 4. Now this is very much trying to snatch defeat from the Jaws of Victory. No, actually, sorry, it's the other way around, unfortunately. Sarcasm all over. Okay, so let's just try and put a brave face on this and eke what we can out of this. Right, so I have regrouped my Juster in because the War Masters Elite, God knows what they're up to. But I think someone's going to have quite a stern talking to them when they get back to the Vengeful Spirit.
But didn't they just want some peach schnapps? Go that way and get some peach schnapps back on the Vengeful Spirit.
I think I could do with the peach schnapps at the moment, thank you very much. Okay, so further to that, Justerin turned up automatically because it is turn 4. It's my Lightning Claw ones, so they're not going to pop out because they have literally no range firepower. I've rearranged some of this to get some sneaky little pop shots on the back of Leviathan. So that's my breaches. I've moved it there and moved my Land Raider to try and get some Las Cannons on the back. Las Cannon again's moved out to get some more shots onto the Venator and finish that off, and you know, at least make good of that before anything else happens. And unfortunately, Tybalt has decided that discretion is a better part of valour, and let's go hide in the woods before the big nasty plasma tank, to be honest, decides to eat them, because, you know, it's the heat death of the universe, and I don't really want to face that down and lose the game. So this Land Raider's obviously moved through. I have rolled numerous difficult terrain tests which they've passed with flying colours, which is no my luck, it's actually a miracle. Okay, so that is the end of my movement, deployment, etc. for my turn 4. Cracking on to shooting. Right, to begin Sons of Horus turn 4, I'm going to begin with my Land Raider. It's going to take a good old pop shot at the Venator. So let's get those dice down. So it's 3s with a reroll, 2 hits. Front armour is 13, 9s, so I'm looking at 4s or more.
Oh, unlucky.
Oh dear, never mind.
Unlucky.
Such be life, never mind. Okay. Right, so we have the breaches now. We can fire the 2 melt guns to the back of the Leviathan. Cover's not really a consideration because that invulnerable save is immense. So it's going to be 2 shots. Again, hitting on 2s because I have that Death Dealer's rule, which is pretty awesome. So that's 2 hits, 8s versus 12, 4s or more. So we do have 1 glancing hit. So
Unlucky glance, so a 4-up invulnerable. No, it goes through.
It's a 2.
So it's down to its final hull point.
Final hull point.
Let's drill that thing down. Now, las cannons, 2 of.
Okay.
You know where that's going, right up your bum.
Oh, cheeky.
So 2 hits,
Yep.
9s versus 12s, we need 3.
Oh,
2 glancing hits.
Wow.
Either one of those is fatal. Go on, get your 4s out. Go on, get your 4s out.
What are the 4s?
Woo!
Oh.
Never mind. So, Land Raider, this one here, he's just entered the board. He's going to take his shots into the commander. So we've got las cannons, re-roll to hit, 2 hits, 2s to wound, 2s to 3 up for you. So let's crack on.
So, 2 lucky 3s, it's 3 up invulnerable, every damn day.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, so I'm going to put the heavy bolter into him as well, chance our arm. So we've got 3 hits. We're going to need lucky number 5 to win. Right, 1 wound, save of 2+ as normal, please, mate. Oh! Down to a wound.
Takes a wound.
It's
from a
that
heavy
little
roll.
dacker right in the eye.
Right, I'm going to be brave and put the other Land Raider straight into him. We need to be assured of that job, okay? So that's 2 hits, 2 wounds,
Yeah,
2 3-ups, or he is toast.
3 up, 3 up.
No, heavy bowler. Come on. Not at this rate. Come on, rerolls. 2 hits, 5s up. No,
Wow.
right. Okay, finally, let's just risk it for a biscuit. We're on snapshots, aren't we? For the Justerin. So I'm going to put 4 combi plasmas
Into the bike commander.
into the bike commander.
Into the Predator, yeah. So 6s.
I've got a 6. I also have a 1.
1s get hot, yep.
He tanks it. He's fine.
Okay.
So I've hit you.
So strength
6
6
versus
basically.
3s or more. Oh,
1s on 1. Wow,
no
wasted
waste.
the plasma.
Unlucky.
Right, unfortunately that is all I do have to shoot at him, so that's a little bit unfortunate.
lives.
He's tanked it a little bit. He is tough as nails. God knows how much he costs, but he's worth it.
245 points.
Gutted.
He's got a cyber familiar, because it's an iron hands thing, so it's just +1 invulnerable, so that takes it down to a 3 up invulnerable.
Brutal.
And when with a command squad as well, with the apothecary attached, it's just a beast unit, and it's just a vehicle for him too.
Thorn in my side is what they are.
So Dan, have we got any assaults?
Well, I've got to do the run for Tybalt's unit because unfortunately they are being a bit of a cowardly custard unit there, and that unfortunately is that. So I'm just going to roll for their run now. They get a further 5 inches, so I'll get those moved up, and yeah, I'll be on to the Iron Hands turn 4.
Iron Hands turn 4, end of my movement. So I've moved my my harem of dreadnoughts out into the centre because I think I've either got things to shoot at or things maybe to get into combat by, but so that's interesting. And just of note, that lead dreadnought is a Quartus Contemptor dreadnought, and I've gone for the Rage, and I rolled my dice and it didn't get a wound, so a hull point, so that's fine. So my Stormblades moved round, all of my dreadnoughts have moved round apart from one that's immobilised. The Contemptor and my Legion Praetor has moved round to kind of face off against the Justarians. The Leviathan in the middle has come round to kind of take on that nasty Land Raider. The Dreadclaw has flown over just to kind of do some harassment and block line of sight. And then I've got a Dreadclaw coming from reserve with 5 melter guns. That's coming in the rear of that Land Raider. My Fellblade in the middle has moved round so I can get some las onto the far left Land Raider, and then some pie plates onto the breaches perhaps. And then my Sicaran has just moved back ever so slightly to take some lucky pot shots at the Land Raider in front. So fingers crossed, it could be a good turn for the Iron Hands. So Iron Hands turn 4 shooting, start of my shooting phase. I've got 5 Melter Guides, so this is a Legion tactical support squad. They're quite expensive, but I've never used them, so see what they do. So 3s to hit, 3 hits, and because they're Melter, so the first one in Melter range, so it's strength 8 plus 5, so that's nothing, so that's missed. The second one, 8, so that's a penetrating hit. The third one, penetrating hit. So that's just 2 penetrating hits, AP 1, let's see what they do. 5 goes to 7, unfortunately.
So this explodes.
That is a big explosion.
D6 inches.
4 inches. So Iron Hands just had a great start to the turn 4 shooting. 5 melter guns, Legion support squad, tactical support squad. Managed to blow up in one go a Land Raider Mark II. So great result. Unfortunately, I lost someone in the catastrophic blast of it. You know, it scattered 4 inches, and unfortunately, Dan lost one as well. So it doesn't force a leadership test on anyone, but we're going to chip away and see what else we can do. So Iron Hands shooting. Leviathan has come round. He's got 2 melter guns. He's firing at the Terminator unit. Okay, so the Land Raider, I've hit it twice. So what does it do? The first one, strength 8, penetrated. Second one, no, just a 1 penetrate. So what does it do? 4 plus 8, 12.
Yeah.
So lucky 5, and it's toast. Oh, 6.
Yeah.
It's immobilised.
It's immobilised, and a whole point down.
And a whole point down. So that's okay shooting. It softens it up for when we get into combat with it. So Iron Hand shooting continues. The Contemptor Prime has fired 2 graviton guns into the Justarians. One scattered and missed it completely, but one hit. Dan did a strength test and fortunately saved it, so no problem there. But that area now, that little 3-inch blast area, becomes dangerous and difficult terrain. Continuing Iron Hand shooting, I've just fired 1 Contemptor Prime, as in the white helmet and white stripe, and 2 Contemptor Quartus units, and all gravs. That's 6 grav shots into this Land Raider, taken 2 hull points off it, and Dan at the end did really well and saved 2 more hull points. That could have wrecked it. So we're going to come back to some of these shooting because I think I've got another plan for it. Fingers crossed. So Iron Hand shooting continues. Not about to turn it with this unit. So my Stormblade has fired a las cannon into the back of a Land Raider, so I took a hull point off that, so that was okay. And then my Plasma Blast Gun took 3 more Legionnaires from this big unit, just trying to whittle them down. Dan made some fantastic 4-up saves, so fair play there. So we're just going to continue and knock out this Land Raider so I can get my Kerries onto the, well, anyone I choose. So Iron Hands shooting continues. My Doridio put a 5-inch pie plate, a plasma cannonade, large blast into Sons of Horus Justarian Terminators. Between me missing and Dan saving, no wounds. And then put my Aeolus missile system into Dan's Sons of Horus Tactical Marines. Managed to get a couple of wounds, but again tanked the saves like a boss. So fortunately nothing this turn for that unit. So some great shooting from the Iron Hands Contemptor Prime. 2 Keres auto cannons, assault cannons, managed to take off 3 Space Marines, that's all good. So not quite enough to force down the leadership test, because we've realised also he's fearless because he's got a chaplain in there. But still, we're whittling him down a little bit until he has none left. So Iron Hand's shooting coming to my end of my turn. My Sigma Venator took some pot shots at the Land Raider, and then my Fellblade opened up, so I had several targets. My las cannons absolutely smashed his Land Raider. I got some really good rolls. I got like 2 6s and a 5. Unfortunately, Dan failed his cover save, so that kind of then blew that. The Terminators got out unharmed. Then the Fellblade swung its turret round, its Demolisher Cannon round, and took a total of 4 breaches. And Dan was unlucky with some of the cover saves. And then unfortunately they then failed their leadership test and they're off. So they are currently fleeing at the moment. So fingers crossed they'll regroup for him for next turn. So combat phase for Iron Hand's turn 4. My Leviathan has made it into combat. So he's about to go knocking on that armoured Land Raider's door. So first of all, crushing weight 2 Hammer Wrath. So I need 6s. Unfortunately not, double 1 won't do it. And then I've got 5 attacks, so 4 basic plus 1 charge him. So 3s will do it. So because I've got a claw, it's Armour Bane, so
Strength 10 Armour Bane.
Yeah, so first one pen,
Ooh.
second pen, glanced,
Glance.
and the third penned.
Yeah.
So at the moment it's 3 hull points. But what does it do? Can I get like a 6?
You do. So what you've done, you see, you've taken the Land Raider out and you've exploded and damaged everyone's side. So we'll roll that up and get back to you.
So my Contemptor Prime has got into contact with his Justarians. So Hammer Wrath, first of all, 2s. So 1 save, normal 2 up. Tapping it. So he's got 3 attacks plus 1 for 2 weapons, plus 1 for charge. So what's your weapon skill?
Weapon skill 5.
4s. Now armor strength 10.
So is that 3 hits?
3 hits.
Yep.
2s to kill. 2 saves.
So 4 ups.
Animals. 1 drops. I'll take the one with 1 wound off first. Oh no, it has to be base contact. Alas.
So I won combat by 2 because I instant killed a 2 wound model. So Dan Sons of Horus took his armor save and bossed it. So that's really easy. So they're staying in combat. So it actually has done me a favour because it means I can stay in combat with him. Unfortunately, he's got no weapons that can hurt them, the Contemptor, because he's got chain axes. So it's probably going to be just now me whittling him down turn by turn. So great turn 4 for Iron Hands. Basically managed to pop 2 Land Raiders and some Terminators, a few tactical Marines, and just chipping away. So at the moment the Iron Hands are in a good position. We've got a good central role. We've got a load of Dreadnoughts just about to pile into combat, so feeling in a good place. And Dan's had some bad rolls, I've got to say that. And I've got to say I've had some lucky rolls. So far the Leviathan is just done another Land Raider. So loving him right now. 1 wound left, will he lose it?
Right, alas, my summary for turn 5 for the Sons of Horus is going to be disappointingly short. Unfortunately, I have had a bit of a drubbing. So, the tactical squad have slunk further into the corner just to avoid the nasty hot fiery wrath of the Stormblade and get a bit further away from those Contemptors. My Justerin that have been very kindly liberated from their vehicle by the Leviathan have decided to move up and possibly risk the old charge on the Praetor, see what they can do. My Terminators that survived the wreck of their vehicle, similarly liberated, have decided to move up and engage the special weapons unit, at least try and score 1 remaining blow for the War Master. However, the Breachers failed their morale check to regroup, and evidently deciding that they did not want to face the wrath of more Meltigans next turn, decided to peg it. So they're gone, they left the board, which is slightly embarrassing. Right, next on to the shooting phase, probably quite short. Right, mercifully short shooting phase for the Sons of Horus, unfortunately, against the Iron Hands. Well, the only shooting unit I have remaining is my Task Force Terminators here. So the Dreadclaw is flying about in the air, so doesn't count as intervening. So they're going to pace these guys if at all possible. So I have 4 combi plasmas and a plasma blast gun. Here we go, here come the ones. Not 1-1.
Wow.
Evidently they were, and because of the Death Dealer special rule, I do get one additional +1 to my shooting, so I do hit on 2. So that is 10 hits, and then it will be 2s to spread as ash across the ground like this one where your Primarch died. Yeah, they're dead twice over, so I'm sorry about that, man.
I don't know what I'm more upset about, the slander at the fallen Primarch, or you taking my models off the table. 5 dead. Fair play.
Great stuff, and we'll go straight on to the assault phase.
Okay, so the Justerin and I do say just, made their charge into the Praetor. He didn't actually hit them as they came in with his 20 bolt guns on his Overwatch. But unfortunately he is a high initiative, so even though I've got the charge, he will get to go first. So if you'd like to try and kill my models with your Paragon Blade, go for it.
Fantastic. So 4 attacks, +1 for digital weapons, +1 for 2 specialist close combat weapons. Weapon skill 6. So 3s to hit. Not great. 1's a mastercrafted. Still not very good. So strength 5 to 3s.
So 3 hits.
3 wounds. AP 2.
3 saves of 4 up for the Justerin. They take 1 wound, so they have 2 wounds each. He's tanked it. So I now have 5 guys, each with 4 attacks, so we'll have to come back with the result of that. Okay, so I'm about to roll for my Justerin. They each have 2 attacks base, additional close combat weapon because they've got the pair of lightning claws, and they did indeed charge. So that's 20 attacks over the 5 of them. So I'm going to put those down. It's weapon skill 5 versus 6. So I'm still hitting on 4s. Okay, not bad. Okay, so I scored 11 hits, which isn't too bad. I need 4s to wound because I have Furious Charge, and I do get to re-roll for Fleshbane.
Shred.
Okay, so I got to 7 wounds in the end because I do have Furious Charge, so I wound on a 4+ against his toughness 5, and then I also have Shred, so those rerolls came in quite handy. So I have put 7 wounds onto the Praetor. It is only AP 3, so we need 7 2+ saves, please.
Will I make it?
Yes,
Will I make it?
1 wound left. Let's
Only
see.
the Gorgon will know.
Oh, 1 by 1.
Absolutely. Oh!
Cleave!
Oh
Cleave!
no, he's like 245 points.
He's still less
deserved.
points than they are.
Well deserved. Let me take him off your battlefield. Well deserved.
How far do the Justerin consolidate?
A mere 6 inches,
Great
so
stuff.
they can go inside where they wish to die. Okay, so yeah, it's my turn. Unfortunately, my Justerin might as well be waving around bendy sticks because they can't in fact hurt the Contemptor, so straight to attacks. Go for it.
So 4 attacks, 3 basic plus 1 for 2 weapons, 3 of hit, so that's a great result. Basically just 2s.
2s.
So many 4 ups, or they're insta-killed.
3 4-ups.
Loves
Locked
it.
combat.
I love it.
Okay, so Sons of Horus turn 5. Not as bad as some of the other turns. If you take it on statistics, are actually by far the most successful turn of the game. So I have managed to kill his Praetor off. I neutralised his support squad over there. I've consolidated the Justerin into the middle here, and once again, Tybalt Marr, the great ultimatum giving Praetor that's come to chase Meduson all down. He's hiding in the corner like a girl. So yeah, he's massively disappointed me so far this game. That's probably why he's got no hair.
So Iron Hand's movement turn 5. A good turn really movement. So my Fellblade has moved around to get a good line of sight with his Demolisher Cannon on those Tartarus Terminators. So fingers crossed we can get some retaliation for wiping out their tactical melter gun brethren earlier. The Leviathan in the middle. Well, because he's a big boy, the Leviathan just smashed his way through, moved through cover, because he could see and smell some Terminators that he wanted to have a word with. Likewise, there's a Quartus Contemptor charging down the alley. He basically rolled, he didn't roll a hull point for his atomic overload, so he's +1 movement +1 charge, so fingers crossed he can get in. And then the rest of the 3 Contemptors just meandered up in the middle, and then the Doridio is looking to get some ILS missiles on the fire unit. And then last but not least, my Stormblade just shimmied over a little bit, did some moving and pivoting, and to get hopefully a line on some of those traitor heretics once and for all, to banish them from the board. And just from a cinematic point of view, because this is a narrative between Marr and Meduson, Shadrak Meduson himself managed to scale these rocky outcrops, and Dan, being a gentleman, allowed me to do my run move out of sequence, and that's the only thing we've done out of sequence in the whole game. But from a narrative cinematic scape, he's basically at the top shouting, "Marr, where are you, Marr? Come and face me! Come and face our metal!" And Marr's just scurrying off like a heretic that he is.
He's having a cry. At the moment he's very much weeping like a beaten child.
Why did Horus give me this failed mission? This was failed from the start. So absolutely great game. I'm really happy with it so far. So let's see what we can do this turn. Turn 5 shooting, we had a great little result. Basically the Fellblade early in the movement swung round, had a great line of sight on what was 5 Tartarus Terminators. Demolisher Cannon knocked a few of them out, Las Cannon knocked a few of them out, but it wasn't until the Twin Linked Heavy Bolter did the damage. Double one, let Sons of Horus roll, Dan's rolled Snake Eyes, there's no going back from that, so it's 5 dead Terminators. So a great end to the shooting round for Iron Hands turn 5. My Leviathan, who's been a beast this game, basically he's got 2 heavy flamers, so he's just incinerated for the wrath of the salamanders that they've, I'm sure, hurt along the way. So he took down 2 Terminators. That's fantastic. Real good achievement. Loads of wounds, and Dan luckily rolled some ones. So good news to him, bad news to me. And over here, the Stormblade
says it already, doesn't it?
Just kind of like swung around, long shot. He took down 7 tactical marines with a couple more las cannons. So basically depleted that unit. That unit's now effectively deleted. However, there's just a couple of attached characters in the crater. So that turn was a really good shooting for Iron Hands. Really good position to be in. So I've got 2 charges lined up. So fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. So Iron Hands combat, I managed to get a Quartus Contemptor into combat, so that's really good. And my Leviathan is again back in combat, stomping around. So we'll do the Quartus Contemptor first, because that's his combat debut. So I've got a cheeky little Hammer of Wrath. Hits, gets strength 7, so that's a normal armour save.
No problemo. Tanks it.
Loving it. And then my attacks. I've got 3 basic attacks plus 1 for charging. Weapon skill 4, so I hit on 4s because I'm a Quartus class rather than a prime. So 2 hit, so strength 10, 1 wound.
Save before vulnerable.
Oh, tanking it again. Loving it. Now my Leviathan, he's basically got a rule called Crushing Charge, so he's got plus 2 impact hits, so strength 8.
This would have happened at initiative 10, but we've just done it machine by machine, you know.
2 saves as normal.
4 attacks plus 1 on the charge, so 5 attacks, hitting on 4s. Ooh, interesting. And choose to wound. So 2 more wounds, strength 10.
1 drops.
So at the end of that combat, not as good as we could have hoped, but it's still
better than I expected. So
still terminated down. So basically, the Leviathan did the main work. Really, he did the heavy lifting. He, with his siege claw, siege drill, he basically took a Terminator in half. He didn't get his Severing Cut special because he instant killed the Terminator first. So basically, strength 10, toughness 4. So he wouldn't get that. So that's fine. Dan lost by 2. And then Sons of Horus, didn't you?
Yeah, rolled a 7, so we're all good.
Loving life. So 1 more Contemptor to do, and that's the end of combat. So my last combat of the round, turn 5. So fingers crossed we can see these traitors off once and for all. So 3 attacks plus 1 for 2 weapons. So weapon skill 5 against weapon skill 5. 4s.
I can't hit you back. End of combat.
End of combat. Who knew it? Oh, the Gorgon. Oh.
So we're now into
my last turn.
Sons of Horus, turn 6, last turn.
Unbelievable.
Sons of Horus, turn 6. Somewhat humbling. Right, we're doing what the cockroaches do, going aground. It'll be us and Twinkies left after the apocalypse. Right, so As you can see, it is simply a case of survival of the Weasliest. They are hiding behind walls, they are splitting off because they're all independent characters, so they can do so. Minimise the chances of just literally being popped off. It is pretty much, can I see it through to the end of turn 6? So it is somewhat humbling, but it's the game, unfortunately. Some games are won and lost on less. So we also have some Terminators remaining in combat. I am actually quite proud of these boys because they've stuck it out compared to 15-foot tall superhuman dead men in massive clanking suits that can tear things in half. Considering what they've done to a tank, being able to stand up to it as a little bloke with sharp fingernails, fair play.
Good. Alright, so we're straight on to the... do you have any shooting, Dan? I'm not being facetious, I'm just asking.
No, unfortunately not. It's basically they just point their finger and shout bang, but that's about it.
Alright, so we're straight into the assault phase.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so Sons of Horus, turn 6, assault. Basically, it's just how long can these boys survive. Okay, so we're going to let Matt, unfortunately, roll his dice, and then I get to roll a few dice at the end of it, and then hopefully I get to still leave some black money on the table. So, Leviathan first, if you want to go, sir.
Good old Leviathan. So, 3 hit.
Hit on 4s.
Fantastic. Strength 10. Ooh. 2 hit and...
Yes, that's 2 wounds, okay.
2 wounds.
Falls up. Oh, guy in front of me, that's fair enough. It was somewhat inevitable. I'll let him have that. Okay, then Quartus.
And my Quartus. So, forced to hit because he's only got weapon skill 4. So, 2 hit. That's a good result. Strength 10. Oh, fantastic.
Oh, he just snaps it. That's fair enough. 2 dreadnoughts. Why not?
Do you want to just consolidate those?
So, my Quartus consolidates 1 inch and my Leviathan 6 inches. Oh, he's on a rampage.
Right, final combat of my turn 6 and my final turn is basically seeing how long I survive against that remaining Contemptor. So off you go, sir.
So 3 attacks plus 1 for 2 weapons. So he's a prime. So weapon skill 5.
Forced to hit me.
So forced to hit. 2 hits. Great stuff. And then strength 10. Oh, just a 1. Just a 1.
Oh,
he's tanked it. He doesn't care.
Right then, so mixed, but to be fair, actually, at least I have some Terminators remaining on the board, so it's better than I expected. It's the end of my turn 6. It's just whether I can survive his.
Iron Hand's movement turn 6, the last turn of the game. What a game it's been. So basically not much has moved around because there's not much on the board to shoot. So we've just protected our centre. So the Stormblade has moved around to give Shadrak a bigger, better kind of entourage. And Shadrak himself has climbed an even higher top, trying to single out the traitors and call to Marr.
It just means the Orbital Bombardment are hitting first.
Okay, that's great. Fantastic. So this is a bit of a Dreadnought alley at the moment. So I've got all my Dreadnoughts coming down. Leviathan has smashed through the doors, so Leviathan's going to be getting in combat in a second. The Quartus Contemptor's getting in, and the Contemptor Prime's in already. So fingers crossed we can get rid of these 3 pesky Terminators, and my Duridio Aeolos can pick out one of these targets. She doesn't need line of sight, and fingers crossed, job's a good one. So end of Iron Hand's turn 6 shooting. Not a great deal really. Man of the match though, the Duridio with his Aeolos missile launcher managed to take out a wound on Tybalt Marr himself.
Yeah, give him a scar.
He's hiding, and yet wherever you're hiding in the galaxy, Dan, let this be a message. Sons of Horus, wherever you are, we can still come get you.
It's just going to teach him to wear a helmet, to be honest with you. That's fair enough. He'll be back later. Back on his ship with no ships that you've got because I've killed them all. And then Orbis bombard you into a dust. It'll be fine.
Well, Shadrak Meduson has climbed a higher peaker, a higher
Imagine
plane.
how much of a scar he's going to get when we drop a magma torpedo on his head with no helmet on.
So Shadrak is screeching over the valley. Come and face me.
Like
Look what I can do.
Girl.
Very good. So you're hiding, Dan.
2 octaves higher.
I'm in the open, but I'm the big girl. Very good.
Right, so we're going to go straight into the combat now, aren't we? So we've got Dreadnoughts, Leviathan and Quartus on top of the Justeran.
So Leviathan, 2 impact hits. So he's got a crushing charge, so strength 8.
No 2s.
2 hit, so that's 2 saves.
Up. 1 takes a wound, which means he's dropped.
Yes.
And then he's got 4 attacks plus 1 for charging. So forced to hit. Only one hit this time. That's not great. So strength 10.
It's a wound. It is a save.
Fantastic. So next I've got my Quartus. Now my Quartus doesn't get a Hammer of Wrath because he's not technically, we're not moving the tank, so we'll just overlook that. That's absolutely fine. He's got basically 3 attacks as standard, and because I've overloaded his atomic charger, I didn't get a whole point unfortunately. Got rage now, so 5 attacks, weapon skill 4, so 4s. Not very well. 2s.
Tanks it.
Oh my gosh, he is loving life. And last but not least,
I think he's clinging desperately onto life is what he's doing, but he's still going.
my Contemptor Prime. Can they do it? So 3 + 1 for 2 weapons. So 4s. Oh, this is it. This is how the game ends. 2s. 3 saves, Dan. Come on, can you make 3 saves?
Oh!
So, in terms of combat, you've lost by 4.
I have indeed.
So, are you going to make
9, so 5 or less. 6, he is breaking it, so initiative 4 + 5 is 9.
Oh wow.
So to catch, you will need
So, 4, they're all 4s.
So,
So 5s.
5 to catch.
5 to catch on these dice. So, can we do it?
You
Oh!
just cleaved down.
Just got them. They've taken them down. So I've just rolled 3 dice, 1 per dreadnought basically, because there's 3 units in combat, because whilst they start as a Talon, they obviously then go out into wherever they need to be. So basically 3 dice I managed to catch down. Unfortunately run that Sons of Horus traitor down, stomped on his ground a little bit, put him in my claw.
The fighting rearguard of the Jester in has allowed Tybalt Marr to slink away to be a massive girl another day, so it's all worked out quite well. It forges the narrative. Shadrak gets to bellow himself horse on top of his big pink rock. Should be pink. Right, cheers for the game, mate.
Brilliant game, thank you.
Right, we'll catch you guys at the post-game interview. Right.
What a game that was.
Wow, what a Christmas special. You didn't disappoint, gentlemen. You know, thank you so much.
Can't believe it.
Christmas is never what you expect. There's always tears at Christmas, isn't there?
Oh my word.
Whether it's the weepy film or a domestic, there's always tears.
Well, that was no sausage roll fest, was it?
No, although it did feel similar in some respects.
So final scores for the game was 20 to the Iron Hands and 5 to the Sons of Horus. So that was, and I'm not trying to rub it in too much, but just tell us what you had left at the end of the game, please.
I had Tybalt Marr with 2 of remaining 3 wounds.
Yes.
I had an apothecary and my lodge master. That was it.
Wow. So that was and I'll be honest with you, when we've been setting this game up for quite a long time now, and these guys have been sending me lists and we've been chatting about it, and when I got Dan's final list the other day, I thought, wow, that is a super tough list. And I looked at Matt, because obviously these guys don't see the list before we have a game, and I thought, yeah, my money was on Sons of Horus.
My money would have been absolutely.
The dice and deployment availed me not. It really, really didn't work out well for me with the dice. I just had some horrendous shooting, some incredibly good fortune with the rolling with the cover saves.
Yes.
And I just got hemmed in so fast. I was sitting on top of myself and I just couldn't get the mobility. That's it. It's what did me. He could jump from unit to unit, squishing them, and that was basically what did me.
So. I think you did have some real bad luck dice rolling. I mean, but I think it was the deployment. I think I chose the better.
Yeah.
You forced that though. You forced it.
Yeah, I managed to win that roll off to start with, and that really helped me out because it allowed me lots of line of fire. The dreadnoughts obviously therefore were slower to get into combat, contemptors and all that. Obviously Leviathan just drops down turn 1 as is, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I think that's where I want it on deployment. I think
you
long fire lines
definitely forced Dan into a bit of a conundrum where to bring his stuff on, and you know, Armour 14 is horrendous, you know, Heresy is scary, I should say, but it perhaps restricts where you come on, and I think you kind of funneled it quite nicely. But
a massive chassis if you think about it.
That
Spartan chassis is huge.
Once the grav's in and the claws and the chain fists, it all starts to very rapidly.
I think the dreadnought. Yeah, I think the dreadnoughts were a bit of a slow burn, weren't they? They took quite a while to get into the action, but when they made it, they stripped whole points, didn't they?
Except that one.
Yeah, well, let's talk about your Leviathan, Matt.
So Leviathan did really, really well, blindingly well. And I think this vehicle here, the Lucius pattern, the Dreadnought drop pod is a must. It's absolutely brilliant because the rules of the fire blast as it comes down, the cover save it gives not only the pod and the Leviathan. You can't charge either during that turn. It comes down until your next turn as well. So it allowed me to really pen Dan in and then just choose my target.
Absolutely.
And he just went from, like you say, from one unit to another. And I think in the end, the Leviathan did 2 Dreadnoughts, 10 Terminators, and I think 2 Sicarans.
Yeah. I'm sure he may have had influence on one of the Superheavies, maybe. He did a few on that.
He
did the Stormblade as well.
He did the Stormblade, he did quite a few of the Terminators, the Sicarans. He made more than made his points back.
He got his money back.
Yeah, I'm on 2 with my Night Lords. With pods.
It is a 405, if I get that right, 405 point unit.
Yeah, it's huge.
But turn 1 auto, in theory, turn 2 charge is brilliant.
It's great. And Dan, you've brought your Justarian here.
To be honest, it's picking the best of a bad bunch with this lot. I just had no real luck at all. Nothing was definitively nasty, but they did drag down the Praetor. So for that, they get honourable mention. And to be fair, they held out way beyond the capabilities of most stuff.
Yeah, they did well.
Where regarding like being charged with the Contemptor and a Leviathan in like a very horrible sort of squishy sandwich, and they still stood up a little bit until they fell to bits. But such is life. I'd still put them toe to toe with any of the Terminator unit in the game.
But if you took them against my my tactical Marines or something,
if these guys get in amongst it with opposing armies, they just literally will tear through stuff. So
I just think that was a wrong matchup, perhaps, because obviously they came on from reserve.
Yeah,
their tank got popped open, so therefore they got out.
Sure.
And what do they charge? The charge will be charged.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you got, I think there was like probably 8 or 9. There was 8 Dreadnoughts with AV-13 coming at them.
Yeah.
So I think it was
tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
They could have been a bit different if I hadn't lost that chain fist to the Praetor early on from that unit, because they were literally just sitting there tanking wounds.
Yeah.
But such is hindsight.
Great unit. I'm like, wow. I can't believe it's massive. And I think, whilst it sounds 25, it sounds quite a lot. Sometimes the game was really close as well, and it just came down to that lucky dice roll or that lucky cover save. And like I say, Dan's dice probably weren't the fairest.
Yeah, they were a bit tough in places. I think there's some things that he perhaps should have saved.
They're new dice, that's what I'm putting it down to. My incredibly expensive £1 each Forge World dice. You heard me Forge World, you sold me a lemon. But it's just one of those things. You've got to play to character, and the character of the traitors is unfortunately to lose. So
cowardly.
Absolutely.
Where was he at the end?
He was sat in the corner having a bit of a lie.
Guys,
this is why he did lie to Horus about catching Shadrak the first time.
So where was Shadrak in the end? Wasn't he on like a higher plane, like shouting across the valley?
And calling out.
Yeah.
Shadrak was just hiding in the corner. Well, no, sorry, Meduson was having a go, and Marr was in the corner.
He's been peppered by Aeolus missile spray.
Pop, 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 pop. Yeah, but he's off to orbit. He'll bombard you from orbit.
Absolutely fantastic.
Plus, he's actually got a rest of a legion to bring into a system.
That hurts.
OMG. Do you want to go now? Part 2?
Well, you mentioned part 2. These gents have agreed to come back. I think is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're agreed to come back.
Honoured to.
We might do a bit of Zone Mortalis for these next year. So maybe the pursuit back up into space. Lots of Dreadnoughts and Terminators. I think would be quite
definitely.
cool.
I like Dreadnoughts.
Yeah,
I have lots of Terminators, so we can do that.
Dresby terms, it feels a good balance.
Yeah, we could play Primarch and Primarch, but only one of us has got one.
Oh, right. Before we get carried away,
right, forget it.
Let me just say thanks again, gents, for coming on.
Anytime.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this game. It's the first 5K game we've played, and we have this facility now to do a lot more of these larger games. So if you enjoyed it, please leave some comments below and let us know all about it. However, we've got one thing left to do. One thing. So on the last game, World Eaters, Emperor's Children, we announced a competition, and the prize was to win a copy of Burning of Prospero. It's sealed. It's beautifully immaculate, more or less. Now, initially we said we couldn't ship this to America, but we now can. So I've added up all the names who liked the Facebook page, shared the Facebook page, and tagged a friend in. I think there's about 280 people. So I put them all into a spreadsheet. I typed them all out by hand, and then I cut them across the front with a knife.
Wow.
It's
And
a bit violent.
with a scalpel.
What he does at home in his own time.
Sorry, I shouldn't say that. So we've got a sack, or a stocking rather, Christmas themed.
Get your goodies from Brains' sack.
Oh yes.
It's the same. Brains' sack always delivers.
It's his love sock.
Never.
Always emptying on the last call. Right, so we're going to ask the victor
The Gorgon.
to pull the name out. So reach in deep and pull us out a name.
So, look, is it Matt Marlowe? Oh, look! Oh, I don't know if I do. Oh.
So who have we got? Read it out for us.
Philip Rosberg.
Philip Rosberg, well done.
Philip Rosberg.
Yeah, so
congratulations.
Now this game goes out on Christmas Day, so I will have contacted Philip prior to that. So hopefully Philip will give us, when he receives his gift, his free prize, hopefully he'll give us a photo to prove that he's won it. But just to prove that all is fair and good, keep that separate.
Yeah.
I'll just show you the.
Look at that.
There was plenty to choose from, so we made a good effort. And only thing remains to say is go to the Instagram page, check out these guys' armies, go to the 30k channel Instagram page, the Facebook page, talk to us, tell us what you liked, tell us what you didn't like, and we will return in the new year. We've got some big games planned in the new year and loads of new content coming, so please stay tuned and we'll see you next year. So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.